Pepsi Postgame Show. William and Mary victorious on the road, 83-74 over Monmouth on this Sunday afternoon. And we are now joined by Cassidy Geddes, a career-high 26 points, a big fourth quarter. Cass, 15 of your 26 in the fourth quarter. But first, I mean, just a massive team win here on the road after Friday night's loss.
Yeah, it was definitely a big bounce back. We just talked about being tough and having to fight, and so this was really well to just see us respond after, a disappointing performance.
Yesterday's practice, I was here for it. It was tough. What do you think, the message the coach staff was trying to send to you guys with that practice, and how do you think you guys responded from that?
I think they were trying to show us that nothing's going to be easy and that we're always going to have to fight for 40 minutes, whether it's, an entire practice, entire game, and that we just had to be tougher. Like, we had to look within ourselves and realize that we had to meet every challenge that was going to hit us.
So it seems like whenever you and Monmouth get together, it's always a really good game. Just talk about, having that mindset of knowing when you see them on the other side of the floor, it's going to be just a really tough game that's probably going to come down to the final minutes.
We'll see. My mom's from New Jersey, so she always tells me that this one especially, I have to beat her home state. So, that's really why I come up for this one.
Well, you clearly did with 15 in the fourth quarter. What seemed to work for you in the fourth quarter to get those quality looks and also knock them down?
I think my coaching staff and then my head coach's father were telling me the whole practice before this that just every shot I'm going to take, it's going to go in, that, I need to feel like I'm the best player on the floor. Just getting back to that is just knowing that I'm going to hit those shots when they matter.
Bella also had a career high today with 27. It's really the first time this season you guys have gotten it rolling at the same time. How much easier did it make it for you in that fourth quarter, because the defense couldn't leave her alone because you would have just found her and she would have probably knocked it down as well?
Yeah, we kind of knew this was coming. We knew that when we're both on, no team can beat us. We're just the duo between those is just going to be really hard to guard. So when both of us can be on in the same game, like, defenses can't game plan for that. So we were really happy to see that, come together today.
What does this win do for this team now back to 2-2 in conference play? Have the bye coming up on Friday and then to Northeastern on Sunday. So some time to rest and kind of collect yourselves after this big performance.
Yeah, I think it just shows us what the toughness we need every night is going to be. And so going into the bye, we're going to take that into every single practice because we know that we can't just, relax and practice and try to turn it on in the game. So we're going to take that the entire time and then be ready for that Northeastern game next week.
All right, that's Cassidy Geddes' career high effort, 26-15 in the fourth quarter. Had to hand the headset off to your head coach, Erin Dickerson Davis, as the Tribe a big victory here on the road inside Ocean First Bank Center. Behind quite the performance from Bel Nascimento and Cassidy Geddes, now joined by head coach Erin Dickerson Davis. Coach, feels like this performance has been a long time coming for this group. Really good stuff by a lot of different players tonight.
Yeah, I was just very proud of how they responded. Stony Brook was obviously a really rough night for us. Practice the next day was a really rough practice for us. Shoot-around today was a pretty tough shoot-around for us. And I was not sure how they were going to respond to that. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought that we would be a little bit fatigued because we went live the last 2 days just to prepare ourselves better for Monmouth than we were for Stony Brook. But then they responded, and I think that's a testament to Cassidy and Bella stepping up in their leadership. That's something that I talked about pregame, right? Like, we're waiting for someone to emerge as our leader, and not just with the points, right? Cassidy was leading. She was not only one of our best offensive players today, but she was by far our best defensive player. She took things personal when she saw that Rodriguez had like 20 points or something, and she made sure the last 4 minutes, everything she got was very tough. So I'm just really proud of how they bounced back, but more than anything, how they responded.
Yeah, speaking of responses, it seemed like, Rodriguez had an answer for a while for a lot of different things. Just, how happy are you to see your team, when she hits a tough shot, not hang their heads, but try and get it back immediately on the other end of the floor?
Yeah, I think it helped that we were scoring the basketball, so when they scored, it didn't deflate us very much because we felt like we could answer. There were a couple of times late in the second half that we lost the lead and we had to go back up, and I felt like every time they went up one, we responded making a big shot. I think that's something that we need need going into this bye week, right? It's going to feel like a long week for us going into Northeastern, but seeing the ball go through the net, not just for her. Anahi had a good game.
Yep.
She came in and had like 6 points right away, and that's very good for her, coming back from injury. She's been struggling a little bit coming back. So, it was just a full team effort, and we did not get deflated like we had been, and I hope that now they see what we're capable of and how we can continue in that way.
Just talk about the fourth quarter from Cassidy. She had 15 of her 26 in that fourth quarter. How big was that for you guys? Because it seemed as though they had really focused their attention on Bella, and next thing you know, Cass steps up and kind of puts the game away.
Yeah, she just needed to see one go in the net. I think that was it. She was shooting at halftime. She couldn't make a three, when we were warming up for half. And, she took a three. She made it. I'm not going to say I thought it was the best shot ever for her to take, but it went in. And the moment it went in, I knew that she would be able to hit more, right? That's just the kind of player that Cassidy is. She is without a doubt my most confident player on this team. So for her to be able to see the ball go through the net, for her to take that kind of pride, we talked about pride also coming from the Stony Brook game. Like, you have to be able to do it all. You can't pick and choose. You're one of the leaders on this team. You're one of the better players on this team, and you have to bring it every single day. And so she did it. She really stepped up when we needed her the most in the fourth quarter.
And then obviously Bella got things rolling. 27 for her, career high as well. 10 of 18, shooting very efficient. 6 of 7 from the line. 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Was kind of everywhere on the stat sheet.
Yeah, that's really good. You guys, I believe in being totally honest and transparent. And I told the starters today in shoot around, I'm like, if we don't start well today, I'm changing the lineup. And I think Bella remembers that from last year and how hard it was for her to get back in that lineup, once she fell out of it. And so kudos to her for taking that challenge head on and saying somebody might come out of this lineup, but it's definitely not going to be me. That's what we expect out of one of your better players and one of your seniors, one of your leaders. I mean, she's a second-round CAA pick, preseason. She deserves that limelight, but she can't take breaks and she can't be casual. And I think today we saw her do neither of those things.
And then just how important was it to get that extra bump in scoring from Anahi with 12 and Kayla Rolfe with 10, just to have them backing up those solid performances from Cass and Bella?
If we're going to win in this league, we have to have more than 2 scorers. We know that from year 1 to year 2. In year 1, you had Sid, Rye, and then Bree, and Kayla Rolfe would come in and give you 8 points, and Beck would give you 8 points. And you just need multiple people to be able to win games in this league. We're never going to be able to hold somebody to 40 points. So scoring 47, 48 points is never going to be a successful recipe for us. And so those people coming in and making the shot, taking them first without me having to yell at them to take it.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the biggest thing is I feel like there's so many times I'm like, shoot it, be aggressive. And today I didn't have to do it. Like, they came in, they had a goal. We talked about toughness. We talked about how nothing on the scout matters. Their personnel, their X's and O's, what they run, what they do on defense, nothing matters if we're not going to be tough. And both of those kids, it came in, Rolfe and Anahi, and they were tough from the break. And they both had to play the 5 for us sometimes today. And those are some really good veteran, big post players, So to fight down there, to not give up, to not have an attitude because I'm asking you to guard somebody out of your position and really just step up to the challenge, I think that is the X factor. So Bella and Cass scoring is great, but the X factor is everybody else chipping in.
And then just try and put into words, how big is it for this team to get this win here on the road with that bye coming up on Friday, some time to rest, then back up north here to Northeastern, get back to 2-2. I know you said to me yesterday before the Stony Brook game, we got to at least split this weekend.
Yeah, we couldn't go into this bye week, going 0-2, and we had to split. I knew that it was going to be tough. We're trying to get our rotations back. We don't know who we're going to have from day to day because of injury. It's such a struggle, and also we got school coming back up, right? And that's going to change everything. It's going to change our amount of practice time, which we struggled with in the non-conference. And so being able to split this weekend, end on a win, as much as I would have loved to win the first game, we're ending on a win, and now does that bring more positivity going into this week? It still has to be tough. Right? Like, we have to put them through adversity. It has to be challenging. However, challenging is not as difficult when it's a positive environment, And so I'm really proud of our girls. I could not be happier about the fight they showed. Now we get a bye week. We get to fly back up to Northeastern and hopefully, kind of repeat things that we did today.
All right, that's head coach Erin Dickerson Davis. The Tribe wins this one 83-74. Quick final thoughts are up next on the Tribe Sports Network from Van Wagner.